What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by my channel, Esteemed Queen and Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below, so that way you get to know when I post all of my tea talks. I made it to spring break. I am finally here. Thank you, baby Jesus, okay? And to think next month they get out of school for the summer. Excuse me. But needless to say, I am proud of myself for making it this far into the school year and not totally feel burnt out. Okay, so it's like right when I'm at the tippy tip, that's when palm trees are in my head, you know, and that's when it happens. But needless to say, needless to say, I hope you're doing I hope you're doing well. I hope you're trying to thrive and survive, such as myself. But needless to say, go ahead and get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is that you sipping on. Get it and bring it close. We should have, we should revisit part of a former tea talk. That's what we should do. Okay, so I want to say literally it was in the beginning of when I started this channel, this brand. And let's just say for the ones, you know, who only have a quick break, the synopsis is what the title says, right? So regardless if it's your kids, regardless if it's school, regardless of the situation, right? All right, you know, you always find a way to come out of a situation. And so I think we should revisit Teabag. I think we should revisit Impossible and the Blessing Bug, right? I'll tag those below. But needless to say, at one point in time, for the new subscribers that have just joined us, welcome, alright? You fill my cup, I fill yours, so make sure you hit that like bell and you subscribe. And for the ones who have been here since the begin, you know where I got that from. I know you listen to Auntie's Advice, okay? I know you listen to, you watch SAS Scales, okay? I know these things, okay? I know these things. So if we go all the way back to the beginning, if we go all the way back to the begin, when I had first decided to transition down here to North Carolina from where I was, it was sudden for some, it was expected for others, and it was like a total blindside to the ones. You know how you have people who think they know your business but don't know you at all to even know your business. Clock it. So when I moved down here, you know, just like anyone who needs to lay down their roots, they're trying to build a business from the ground up and grow it where they've done their homework, and their homework has definitely come to fruition as to it being a really good area to start should you be an entrepreneur. Not everyone knew all of my plan. I mean, no one really did, to the extent of me just going down the highway and may not come back. They didn't know my plans beyond that. So when I thought I was in a stable place, that seemed to not be the situation. I reached around to different groups and everything like that to see if I could be of some, you know, get any type of assistance. Whether that point me into the right direction for stable housing, or if that was to point me into a direction of me being able to have financial stability, I was game, right? So, right when, like, literally, I'm on the edge of my seat. It's like wearing a stiletto heel over a sewer cover. Like, that's how on edge I was about everything. And I finally, a minister, pastor, whatever, reached out to me. And he bought me lunch. I was there using the Wi-Fi at the restaurant, so he went ahead. He went ahead and got me lunch, and he asked, like, is this all that you want? Just that. And I'm just like, yeah. I wasn't used to asking or sending out a smoke signal for any type of help, and there's a reason why. So the next thing you know, I explained the situation and everything like that. This pastor told me, you should pretty much be homeless nonetheless. Like, hey, I don't think what you're doing is the right thing, so you should do this and do that. And I'm not even hearing shelter. I'm not hearing different, reach out to different temp service. I didn't hear none of that. I'm still stuck on the fact of, I know for certain I've done my research on where I'm supposed to put my feet, plant my feet at. Now, if, people don't want to make room for that, then that's cool. If the enemy don't want to make room for that, I get it. Who are you, though, to tell me I need to stop moving forward, all because I look like I'm half dead, or you assume that I am? I'm just looking for some guidance. I'm not looking for someone to kick my cup over. I'm not looking for someone to bring down my motivation, my determination, and what I need to be able to move forth. You already starting off on the wrong foot, because see, I didn't say nowhere in that I could not do this, that it was impossible. Bitch, I'm possible. And what I want can be done, can be manifested, will be mine. No one else can tell me that is not, because I don't need approval from anyone but one person. And that's the only door, that's the only word I know that can open all motherfucking doors. Do you hear me? So, I had to back him up a little bit. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa. I'm just looking for a little guidance. I'm not looking to give up and assume that's where you're at. Excuse me. It may seem like I'm playing possum, but I know all of my possibilities, okay? I can do a lot when my mind is set forth, determined, and focused. Just like anybody else can go out here and use those same qualities about themselves, those same characteristics about themselves, and get themselves through whatever it is they need to do. All right? So we need to have a conversation. Just like I'm possible, we need to have a conversation about them POSSUM-BILITIES. Okay? And I worded it like that because throughout me being able to start, climb, maintain a decent speed, because it's not a race, it's a marathon. So you don't want to burn out as soon as you get 100 yards down yonder. So in between me starting, climbing, and building, keeping things steady, continuing to expand, open different businesses, trust myself with these businesses. It's just so interesting, because the people who did not encourage me, the people who did not encourage you along the way, 9 times out of 10, they're nowhere around. They're not close around. They're not nearby. They're not in your phone. They're not on your Facebook. Bitch, they're not on your TikTok. They're not even sending you a holiday greeting card, bitch. The bottom line is, sometimes people who come and tell you shit like that, they just messages. My legs are jumping. They're messengers. I feel like he was a messenger to tell me exactly what I needed to hear myself say. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ain't nobody saying shit about giving up, respectfully. Lord, forgive me, if the Lord is really in you. Because I would think the Lord would say, He like he is the beginning and the middle and the end. I added the middle because when you climbing and there's nothing behind you and everything's slipping and sliding in front of you while you climbing, he is the only thing that you can hang on to. Whether you think it's just a mental or a spiritual, bitch, you talking to somebody. And at the end of the day, at the end of the climb, when you get up there, when you are relieved, where do you hold your head to? Which direction? You hold it high up in the sky. Okay? So clearly someone is up there that you speaking to. So when things are slipping and sliding, rocks, milestones, your children won't get it to fucking together. They won't set the dishwasher and empty it. They won't fold the clothes, but to put the motherfuckers in there. I get it. I get it. So we need to keep it together. I'm going to help you. Okay? If you made it this far in the video, I need you to put some bananas in the comments. I'm so serious. Put some bananas in the comments. Alright? I need you to slow down before you slip up. Now, they already think you barely got a post out this bitch. They barely want to notify your next of kin that you're having issues. So this is what we're going to do. Okay? This is what we're going to do. First and foremost, just like my video, Impossible, I'm Possible, believe in yourself. Just like I cut that pastor off. I'm glad I didn't go to your church. Because you've been throwing sand all up in my shit until I realized a crook and crevice that I missed and did not know was there all along. Failure is not in me to sulk and pity myself about when I know what my goal and what my fucking purpose is. If I was to come here and be the best caterer, if I was to come here and be the best coach, if I was to come here and be a hilarious comedian, whatever I wanted to do, I knew it before I set out. So for someone to sit up in my face and say, you're about right there. Who are you? In the words of Meatball, you out your fucking mind. I'm full of possibilities, even if you think I'm playing possum. Or you don't know that. You know, sometimes when you go through, and it can be slight, you know, a paper clip can fall on my desk right now. Some people will damn near hyperventilate. I get it. And then there's some people who would need their house packed like they're on an episode of Hoarders to really gain a reality that shit is closing in on them if they don't take responsibility and accountability for things. One thing I definitely hold myself accountable for to the tippy top tilt is making sure that when I'm headstrong and motivated about some shit, nothing or no one other than the good Lord is going to tell me I can't do it. I mean, you can voice that. Don't expect to see me around after that. At that point, then you're just a messenger. They come and go. But even then, be careful of what you filter mentally, because sometimes it can be sand in your eyes, so you can't really follow what you were supposed to do. Everybody be real quick to say, oh, well, you should change your goal so that way the plan still works. No. Ass backwards. You change the plan to get to the goal. So when you feel as if like it's not there, it's not given, it's not a vibe, understand how you love yourself, talk to yourself. That's self-love too. Make sure you believe in yourself. Make sure you tell yourself that. I mean, you can sit around here all day and have raccoon eyes because you done stayed up to the top of the morning doing whatever. Sewing, hobbies, reading, school, trying to get your training for work, whatever it is. Whatever it is. You can look almost deceased in the face, but you can have a light inside of you, just like my video, Lighthouse, that no one can deny seeing. Just because I may look tired don't mean that that's my mental condition. And just because you're not willing to waste your mental sharpness on people who don't make sense for simple things, they think 1 + 1 is 10. Come on. Come on. So, I need you to understand that. Stay positive. Believe in yourself. Those two definitely go together. Because one's peanut butter and one's jelly. That's what makes it one of those nasty ass sandwiches y'all like. I don't want to have a conversation about this down in the comments. But I'm just saying they taste better separate. It is what it is. Like I said, stick to the goal. It's okay. This is why there's a such thing called tactical planning. And this is just in case something goes disarray, something happens, something, let's say like nature, okay, buildings, all types of disasters. Like your tactical planning is to help you be able to call an audible. Excuse me, call an audible. For my football players, they know. Alright, football fans, they know. When it's time to call an audible, that means some shit gotta change. But it doesn't change the fact that the end goal is to get a touchdown. Okay? You can do 1,000 plays up and down that field, but you better get that touchdown. You want to eat, you want to get your check, you better make that touchdown. Okay? Now, the last 2 points, the 2 points I want to make. I got to go pick up my child from cat care. Okay. When you work towards a goal, that is you being active. Let me say that again. When you make small milestones, you accomplish things, that is you staying active. You're staying active to get the job done. You're staying active to be able to get your goal off your bucket list, whatever the case may be. But just know, anytime someone says, you need to get your mind off things and you need to stay busy, it's because when we invite other things that intrigue us, it's a release. It provides a release of things that weigh us down and make us feel like compressed, right? So just keep that in mind. You're going to have to weather a storm or two, though. All right? No matter if it's fall, spring, summer, or winter, there's rain. There may be a thunderstorm. If it thunders in the winter, we're going to get snow. You see how that gives that a heads up? If we see the sun out, but it's raining and it's thundering, if you know, you know. Right? So everything happens for a reason in these storms, all right? All right. I mean, we have the news to keep us alert and on top of what's coming our way. How do you stay prepared for what it is you need to get ready for? Because learning is nonstop. You can always, even if you can't afford mental health services, for one, by all means, drop down in the church announcements and you will see my coaching practice, Open Hearts and Free Spirits. We offer complimentary consultations, and that is for us to be able to get to know you, as well as kind of do a dive into what happened, where you are, and where we want to go. And so even if so happens you're not really in a position to afford anything beyond that, this is where the library comes into play. Even forget the internet, go to the library, okay? This is where self-help can help you, all right? It's nothing wrong with you learning more and uncovering those things that you really need to deep dive into so you feel whole, okay? Learning is an all the time thing. And most importantly, when you do get to where you want to be, when those possibilities start to grow and get older and you're able to look back and understand what you've learned, you understand from failures, you've learned lessons from people, places, and all things, understand that there's going to be generations behind us, okay? And they're going to need heroes to read about. They're going to need leaders to read about. They're going to need influential, positive, influential people to talk about, to gain aspirations off of. Will it be you? Because if you see that for yourself, you might want to give back while you can. Now, a lot of times people be like, oh my God, I don't have money, this, that, and the third. You have time. Time is free. What you decide to do is your business. When you lay down at night, you got to go about it. Not me, not Dick and Harry, not my cat, you. So if you want it to be all the live long day, you have to think just like I'm possible. You have the blessing bug. You know, you got to think about moving in silence, weathering the storms, understand the climb. The climb ain't for no one who has rubber ankles. Ain't no Gumby bitch gonna survive too long on an incline of damn near at a 10.0. It is blistering fucking hot. There's no 7-Eleven, no Wawa, no Sheetz, no Publix, no Walmart, no Speedway, no Kroger around to give you a drop of water. The only drop of water that's coming off, that's coming to you, is coming out of you. And even then, you're exhausted, you're exasperated, you know, you feel by yourself, you're tired, your muscles is sore, your brain is heavy, your shoulders is heavy, you know, your ankles are burning, your calves are burning, your knees hurt, your elbows hurt. Who is there? You. You're still hanging on because you know some shit is possible. I don't care if you got 1,000 things going on at one time. Clearly, you have some possibilities. And whether people see it or not, whether you tell them along the way or not, eventually it's going to be their time to show. And all of that, all that gibberish they were talking, 9 times out of 10, if you see them, it's in passing. And in passing, they're going to see how much you've grown, how far you've gone. And then that's it. Because sometimes they need to see like a result, an update, just to remind them. Now this is their message to clock, not yours, but just to remind them. You got to be careful what you say about people. Because if you was to really sit down with a mofo after they done said all this woulda, coulda, shoulda, not going to have happen, and you ask them, well, where you at in life? Oh, I'm good. You know, the kids, they're growing. And ABC, sound like you still in the same damn place to me. I think you need to forward her the video, you're here. Okay? Because it may not sound as if like it's boring, but bitch, it damn sure is a plateau. And you need to give them that haunted house video too. Because as quiet as it's kept, a lot of times people want to shoot down what you got going on and coming up because they can't sit here and stomach the fact of whatever they tried to do did not work. And their asses is clinically in denial. Pow pow, both barrels. So, with that being said, when folks think you can't make it, yet you know your ability, be determined. Be determined. We all need a few naysayers. They're like science experiments for us. You know what I'm saying? They lab rats. I'm going to tell you about my idea. Oh, that ain't gonna work. Cool. Send them the crab video. Okay? Cool. 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 Do you think a company is going to put a bad product on the shelf knowingly? No. And when they do find that one, they throw it fuck out. Defected. friends, family, whoever. Oh, I'm gonna tell you my idea. Oh, it ain't gonna work, bitch. You're defected. Bye. Bye. All right. Just understand everything comes full circle. Full circle. People think you're unable to live your life peacefully, and people will believe that they have pull and control over taking your power. I.e., oh, it ain't gonna work. But they have no idea the strength you have between you and your higher spirit. They just talking. They just messengers. Because eventually, again, that's what they demote themselves to. Bitch, you're no longer a friend. You're a messenger. You're not even an associate. An associate, I see in passing. At least I see an associate in passing is 5 days a week. Okay? You're a messenger. You're like the mailman. Bitch, you're like FedEx and UPS. You may or may not stop by my house. So how much does your word mean to me? Bitch, sit down. That's what you need to tell them. Bitch, sit down. Sit down. So anyway, for you to feel that way and to know that it's true, that's a superpower. That is a whole superpower. And sometimes, I'm not going to hold you, I love it. I love it. Especially folks who don't know, have not seen. I remember one time, I had just moved here and everything before I started the channel. And I had moved from a different condo to an apartment closer on this side than I am now. And mind you, I still had to go to work. I still had bills to pay. This is before the cat, okay? So I told my boss my move-in date and everything like that. And he was just like, oh, you ain't got no one to help you? I'm like, no, I'm down here by myself. And I don't need anyone to help me. I'm pretty sure I can get it done. He was like, well, that's a lie. I said, I know. He said, well, you still gonna come to work? I said, sure enough, be here 8:30 sharp. What you talking about? Yeah, I got off work at 3 that afternoon. I caught them furniture people. Because, see, it's in the contract that they can move that shit for you, alright? Just make sure you update your address. I called them. Said, yeah, I need y'all to move my living room furniture. I took care of the office. I took care of the bedroom. I took care of the bathroom. I took care of the kitchen. They came and got the living room furniture. And I was sitting at my desk bright and early. 8:37. 7 minutes late, but bright and early. And he looking at me like, oh, you're here? And mind you, I'm already built like a stallion, quote unquote. So, you know, my muscle memory clearly at that time could tell you, like, it won't no thing for me. But little do he know, on the inside, child, I felt like a worn down bench. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I felt like a worn down bench. And then what makes it even more mentally draining is the fact of I was doing my book tour at that time for the Black Sheep Shadow. So even though and mind you, my boss was just like, I told you it'd be easier for you just to get help. He don't know I done moved in, got everything turned on, furniture already dropped off. House looks decent, bitch. Cooked full meals, started cooking videos, the whole kit and caboodle. But you still stuck on what you think I can't do. Bitch, sit down. At the end of the day, you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel sore. You're going to feel exasperated. Because you know why? You endured the climb. Now once you endure the climb, there's nothing else to do but enjoy the fact that you got through it. So yeah, I sat there bright and early at 8:37 in the morning, looked right at him, in pain and all. Cause bitch, I know the possibilities with me. So you might wanna read the synopsis before you start making your predictions. So how do y'all deal with y'all superpower? And what do you believe is possible for you? What do you believe is possible for you? I know I probably will get a couple stories about folks, that have folks looking on the downside of them. But, it is what it is. They're all things that help us once we realize them to make better choices and to continue to strengthen the confidence in ourselves. But y'all tell me down below, all right? What do y'all do with y'all possibilities, all right? Be sure that you check down in church announcements for everything. Be sure that y'all like, share, and subscribe. Fill my cup and I will fill yours. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.